Okay, Brambro back with some Grand Tactician Civil War CSA campaign in the 1.06 beta. Alright, so this is essentially a continuation of the last episode, where on the campaign map we had Winfield Scott's army, which had been defeated at Lexington, but led Ewell's Corps on a merry chase kind of through eastern Kentucky before finally finding its way back up into Ohio. With Ewell out of place, though, he's over here at Grayson, Kentucky, out of range. McClellan has come back down to attack Cincinnati while only Harvey Hill's corps is present to defend. I think it's pretty clear. This is coincidental, not causal. You know, it wasn't the AI's plan to use Scott as bait and draw Ewell away. I think that would be giving the AI too much credit in this or any other game. However, I would like to think that AI McClellan did kind of catch that Cincinnati was now defended by only one corps instead of two, and chose that moment to attack. I think that is believable, and I hope that's kind of what happened there. Because he's got about 40,000 men, and we've got about 22,000 men. It's an almost 2-to-1 outnumbered. We are about even on guns, though. And let's see what happens. I'm going to hop in here, and let's see what our situation is. If it's defensive, I feel pretty good. If we're putting an attacking situation here, it'll be challenging. Even, and this gets talked about a lot, right? Even with the state of the AI the way it is, attacking against 2-to-1, yeah. That's not going to be the easiest thing in the world. I think we will muddle through somehow. It did come up in comments that another YouTuber, far larger than I think most people, if not all, viewing this will be familiar with VTH Gaming, who has been probably the biggest Grand Tactician content provider since well before release. And in one of his most recent videos, someone pointed out that he went into Steam and verified his game files. And after he did that, the next battle he fought in his most recent episode, yeah, it was a pretty tough battle for him. Could that have actually meant anything for the AI decision making? I kind of doubt that. But I could see that could very well have been an issue with some of these really lopsided casualty counts that people have been seeing recently. You know, that there's something not quite right with the firepower or what have you. And anyway, long story short, before recording today, I did go through and verify my game files in Steam, and surprisingly, it had been a little while since I did it. 31 files needed reacquiring. So let's see how this battle goes. I don't know why the field book is up, but okay. What do we got? Okay, we have a defensive situation, indeed, as we should, because, you know, McClellan came and attacked us, for crying out loud. Where's our objective? There's that telltale flat spot right here. Here's where the deployment zones butt up against each other. And it makes sense. Here's his entry point. I bet McClellan's army is sitting right here. And where's Cody's? Cody's farm is way over here. Okay. Hill. Where's Hill? Hill. Where? Oh, I gotta get out of HQ mode. First things first. Let's get a unit and put it right here on this flat spot. See if you see anything. No. Okay. Sometimes you see these, and you put a unit there, and boom, that's where the army is. Right there, and you can actually set everybody up within rifle range. And then sometimes it just means, nah, that's just where the deployment zones butt up. So that's what we have here. Okay. Well, there is no other federal entry point that I see. So McClellan's army is somewhere in this area. His reinforcing army, whatever it's named, it said unknown, was about half an hour, half a day, about 12 hours away. So his army's got to be up here. And he wants to come to Cody Farm. So coming into this area and then marching I mean he's gonna come along this road, just pretty much has to. We do have a ridge here. It's not, yeah, we got a little bit of high ground here, so, and oh, there's a little bit of stone fence we can use. So yeah, I think we're going to set up a defensive position right along in here. There's some high ground back here, good spots for artillery. So I will set that up and I will be back. Well, I'll be back. I'll set that up and then get rolling and do some scouting with Cav. And when we see where the Federals are, that's when I will be back. Okay, so after I stopped recording in that earlier segment, I got to looking and I could see multiple routes. Once coming through Burton, I could see multiple routes where the Federals might come around either side of Hunt's Ridge or well to the north of it. And the more I looked, the more kind of spread out Hill's Corps would have to be to cover all of those possibilities. So I've decided to do it differently. Right up here on the edge of our deployment zone, it looks to me like the best place to concentrate Hill's Corps for the defense is right along the railroad embankment, just south of the Burton place here. No matter which way McClellan wants to go, I think he has to come through here first. And so here's where we're going to defend. And the railroad embankment, I think, I don't remember the exact number, but I think it's about on the same level as a breastwork for cover. So here's where we're going to make our stand against 2-to-1 odds. I've just got all the divisions kind of strung along here. The two smoothbore battalions will be right up with the infantry on the line. We'll see how that works out. They may get ripped up. The three, let me see, what do I have here? Okay, we have 3-inch ordnance rifle. Maybe I ought to put them back here. My initial idea was, let's bring them up and get them right on this little high ground here on the edge of these woods, oriented this way. I'm going to stay with that. That's where I'm going to put them. I was doing that thinking they were James's, though. I've got time to switch it, but I'm going to go with that plan. I'm going to put my 3-inch ordnance rifles right here. Now, if they come across the river and decide to come after this flank, they may have to bug out. And they've got an escape route over here. So, you know, they won't get completely trapped. And initially I'm going to send the Cav up here to scout, but when he falls back, he's going to come back to where the artillery is to provide some security for them in case they need to fall back and they need some kind of rear guard action. But other than that, I'm thinking that we're going to have an infantry firefight all along in here, and hopefully the railroad is enough to keep it in our favor against the Union's manpower advantage. Okay, I'll be back when the Federals are spotted. And the Federals are spotted. They're not coming down this road. They formed up somewhere over here and are coming across this wide open area across the creek, probably to this road. So they are basically, now I don't know if they're trying to do this, but the way it's working out is that they're coming in on our right flank. So Walker's division is who was the right is the right flank for now is pretty much in place to be engaged, but we need to shift forces to the right. So what I've got is Patton's division. I'm detaching his artillery because I don't want the artillery moving with them. I think I'll probably take this battalion and I might move it up onto this high ground and fire along the road. But Patton's division, infantry, I'm going to pull them off the railroad embankment and march them through here into these woods. Because I think pretty shortly Walker's going to be engaged here. Walker is putting out skirmishers right now. And then the other thing I've done is I had started moving the 3-inch rifles up onto this high ground. I've given them a stop order, and we're going to bring them back to this side of the river, probably over to, say, here. Let's see what their route looks like if I do this. I think Patton's infantry and Duncan's battalions will get in each other's way if I do it that way. So, well, he still needs to get a stop order. So, I'll move them over here to make sure they use this ford, and then we'll bring them up. By the way, it's only 1 o'clock in the morning. So there's no fighting at night with a regular deployment phase, but the battles can start in the middle of the night. That's kind of interesting. That's happened several times in this campaign, actually. Okay. Get this skirmisher over here in these woods, like about that. Let's get these skirmishers up about like so. I just want them to engage just so that the Federals don't just hit the road and head toward the objective. I need them engaging something, because we want this fight here, not way back over there. Okay, let's bring this artillery back to here. Get this cav across the river. This will do for now. Yeah. It looks like they're coming out of column and forming into line. That's good. That's what I want. Let's go ahead and limber up that artillery. Bring it up here. Okay. Patton, once your guys are formed up, come over about like this. So what's supposed to happen when you don't count them in an order, if an order is in progress and you give another one, what's supposed to happen is they go to finish the first order and then do the second. We'll see if Patton's infantry actually does it that way. I think we can move Vaughn's battalion up over here as well. Let's limber him up. Go ahead and detach him as well. He'll be moving a little bit independently of Smith's infantry. Okay, they're reacting to the skirmishers' presence, even though there's not any actual shooting going on yet. That's okay. They're doing their job. Okay. Is artillery moving over? Yeah, they're getting there. Well, okay. See Federals moving down this road. I'm not a big fan of that. I think they're just doing that to form up in line, though. I think we can go 2x here. Okay, Patton's guys are coming across. Good. I think these are Napoleons here. Yeah. Brass Napoleons or bronze. I don't know if they're brass or bronze. I should look that up. I think they're brass. Let's see if Crutchfield has any shots from where he's at. Unlimber. Yeah, I think he's got maybe a few. Yeah, that's not as good a spot for Vaughn. He's a little bit lower in elevation. I'm going to back him up just a little bit. Or move him forward. Let's move him forward. He is getting shots from where he's at, but I don't think he's got very much. I'm going to go ahead and move him up about to here. Yeah, okay, they're forming up in line here. So we're going to have a fight right in this area instead of over here. Doing all right. I don't think McClellan needs his scouts anymore. Skirmishers engaged. I just want them all to lay down. Their role is positional, really. Yeah, I think Patton's infantry is going to be able to... Matter of fact, let's just go ahead and have Cummings' brigade throw out skirms now. Come deal with this artillery. Same with Weisinger. If I can get them selected, there we go. Well, it looks like verifying files didn't do so much for the smarts of these two battalion commanders. Okay, Cummings. Let's go ahead and let's go ahead and get these guys in position to. That's not what I wanted. Patton. Let's go ahead and get Patton's guys in position to move up onto the rail line here. What are those guys doing? Crutchfield still has shots. Vaughn's got shots. Okay. Let's get Hill kind of moved over here near his division commanders. Let's go ahead and dismount this cav. Culloch and Stewart are a little isolated here on the other side of the creek. I hope they don't get in too much trouble. But I think these forces are really just forming up. I don't think they're attacking the cav. If they even see the cav, they may not. This happened, and I've noticed a trend in both my own and in other folks' battles recently. It looks like the AI is making an attack. What they're really doing is forming up in their position, and it just so happens that some of their forces come into contact. And it looks like an attack. It's really not. And then the main attack never occurs because much of the army will stay in place. And what they're doing is they're waiting for the other wing of the army to get into position, when in fact what's happening is that wing is in combat and they never fully reach their position. And then the unengaged, I'm not saying this is exactly what's happening here, I'm just talking about the phenomenon. The unengaged wing then never does anything because they're waiting for the whole force to get formed up in order to make a general attack. And it just never gets there because one wing is hung up and fights just trying to get into position. I noticed that seemed to be what was happening 2 battles ago for us in one of the Cincinnati battles, and something very much like that I think occurred in one of Worms's recent battles as well, as I was watching it. Okay, looks like Patton can go ahead and come up here onto the railroad. I'm not going to have the skirms chase this artillery all the way over. If they go over and get, if they, let the artillery go take the objective. Huzzah. Congratulations. So we'll just go ahead and pull those skirmishers back. That'll be faster than maneuvering them back over, I think. And I think it's probably a good idea to have Smith's division advance up here. Well, maybe the better idea is to just pull the artillery back and keep the integrity of our rail line defense. Let's at least pull Vaughn back to, let's limber him up. Let's just pull him back to here. And actually, I think I would rather move McCulloch all the way back around and put him on our right flank. So I'm going to mount McCulloch back up. Pull him back to the Burton place. Come on. There you go. Okay, I'm going to put these 3-inch ordnance rifles about here because I want them far enough back that they're able to fire over the line. I know that there's a distance associated with that. I don't remember the number, and even if I did, I don't know exactly how to parse that out on how far that is on the map. But sitting back here, it should be within range to cover this whole area because they reach out significantly farther than smoothbores. About 1,800 yards, I think. Well, we can just see. What is the range of a 3-inch ordnance rifle? It is 1830. So 1830 from here ought to cover this area, and they should be far enough back that they can fire over our line. We'll see if it works out that way. Somebody is running low on ammo. It's probably one of these skirms. Yeah. You know what? That's okay. That's okay. And actually, these skirms have done their job. They arrested the movement of the Federal Army and forced them into line so that we have a battle here, not chase them toward the objective. I'm going to go ahead and pull all of these skirmishers back in for now. Replenish their ammunition, which is really only this guy. And then I'm going to put him out again. Go ahead and put Patton's skirms back out. And so now the function of all the skirmishers is going to be just to kind of screen against the Federal advance if and when it comes. Man, looks like I moved Vaughn back just a hair far. He's on the wrong side of the crest, so we'll just scooch him up just a little bit. There we go. Somebody was asking in comments, why do you use the charge order? And that is because if you give an advance order, they move forward. It's relatively slow, and when stuff comes in range, they shoot. They stop and shoot. With the charge order, I think of it as a kind of a move faster than advance, because they move a little bit faster. I don't know if artillery does, but they also don't stop to shoot. They go where you tell them. Take up that position and then start shooting. So I like to use that order like let's say there's a fight going on around here, there's a brigade back here, and I want him up on the rail line. If I give an advance order, then he'll move along in here, and once he has something in range, he'll stop and shoot at it while he himself is still in open ground. If I give the charge order, he'll just run up and get on the rail line and then start shooting at stuff. Someone brought up, though, but when you do that, doesn't that put them in short range? Well, it turns out it does, and I didn't realize that. So, I still... Oh, let me put... let's get these skirms back out here. So I still like using that order. It's just, yeah, I'm going to have to remember to get it back in long range if I need to. Okay, let's get this cav back over here. Good catch, though. Thanks for that comment. I did not realize that charge put them in short range. Okay, and we got some Federals advancing now on our right. Okay, so they formed up their big position, and now they're making their advance. Everybody got in position, and they're coming in on our right flank. It's about to get hot for Patton's division. It's about to get pretty hot. McCulloch, we need McCulloch over here to protect his flank. Kind of refuse the right here, right in this area. And looks like Vaughn's confused. What are you doing, Vaughn? Here, just go here. See if you like that better. Things are still fairly even right now. It's corps against corps. There is another Federal corps-sized force coming. It should be about noon. So we kind of need to beat these guys before that second force, whose name is unknown, shows up. Looks like these skirms need to change their face a little bit. They're close enough. I don't need to do the brigade, separate brigade order. Stewart's cav come up over here. Fast. Charge. Ah. So Weisiger and Doles will either come out of this battle with fame or defamed. Probably. These guys finding shots. Crutchfield, yes. And, yep, okay. They've got targets. Can't tell exactly how those skirms in those woods are facing. I just know that they're not facing the right direction. Here, turn this way, if you will. I don't know if they're really responding to that. I'm just going to pull these guys in before they break. And yeah, I had used a charge order for Cummings Brigade. Let's shift him to long. And let's shift, well, Cummings, or Weisinger rather, he had shifted to long of his own accord. He's got 2 brigades coming in on him. 1 infantry, 1 cav. He's in cover, but so are they. They're getting credit for the embankment as well. Need that cav to get over here, deliver a little bit of flanking fire from this direction with his carbines. Someone in a recent comment was asking, what's up with these shields up here? And these are victory points. Basically, if you've got the objective, this little bar goes around, and every time it fills up, you get another few objective points from victory points from owning an objective. That's what these shields are up here on either side of the balance bar, or whatever the heck this is called here. Okay, Weisinger is getting a little toasty. Come on, Cav. He's also taking artillery fire. So let's look at his modifiers real quick, because he's got a bunch of them. Okay, so he's getting a morale buff from having his commander nearby. That's Patton, his divisional commander. He's got a debuff here because he is under artillery fire. He's got a buff here, supported, and that's because of the proximity of Cummings Brigade just on his left. He's got a buff for being behind cover. That's the railroad embankment that he's sitting on. He has a debuff because the enemy is behind cover. His guys don't like that they're shooting at somebody under cover. And finally, he has a debuff for routed units nearby. And I'm pretty sure that he's taken this debuff because of his own skirmishers, which recently routed. There's pluses and minuses to putting skirmishers out. Their pluses are, I think, pretty well evident. You know, they screen, they protect the parent brigade from casualties by taking fire. They achieve a better casualty ratio, even when engaging units higher than themselves. The downsides of skirms are they do not have a high loss resilience, right? If they take much fire, they will be driven back. And while they are out, they are treated as a separate unit. So when they rout, other units in the vicinity, they take a debuff for a routed unit being nearby, even though it's just skirmishers. And also, I think, I'm not sure, but I think that while skirmishers are out and they're engaged in fighting, that they earn experience for themselves, not for their parent brigades. So, I'm not 100% sure of this, but I think that by using a lot of skirmishers, it probably does slow down the experience gain of their parent brigades and make it take longer for them to get and open perks. I've said it 3 times already. I'm not sure of that, but I think that's what's going on. Anyway, okay. Kind of thinking of moving Walker forward into here. I don't know if that'll really help, to be honest. Cummings is engaged against these forces. Even if I do move Walker forward, though, it's not clear to me that that directly helps Weisinger. I think it's pretty much his own. Let's go ahead and unlimber all this 3-inch ordnance, and hopefully they've got shots. I think we pretty much need the calf here. As soon as he's in position, I will dismount him and move him forward on Weisinger's right. And that carbine fire should help out here, I hope. Weisinger's still doing okay. He hasn't reached halfway on his lost resilience yet. He has lost 500 men. Notice how he's lost the nearby routed unit debuff. It doesn't last very long after the skirmishers do come back in. And apparently he's not getting shot at by artillery. He's also picked up a debuff because there is friendly cavalry close by. Alright, so that's another thing that one can use cavalry for. Other units like it when there's cavalry nearby. Okay. Culloch is just about in position. Okay, dismount. I'm going to move Stewart up real close. Somebody was asking about bugle calls. Okay, so if you give one of those movement orders to someone within bugle range, that is a bugle order and they will respond more quickly. And my understanding, I've never really paid attention to it, but my understanding is if you're zoomed in close like this, you'll actually hear the bugle call. And supposedly, they're like supposed to be historically authentic. I would have no way to know. I've got lots of odd little historical bits of random knowledge tucked away in my brain. 19th century bugle calls are not one of them. Okay. The rifle's firing. Yes. 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 3 inchers. Pop off. Looks like they've got shots in this area. Okay, well that's pretty much the area that we thought they would cover. And looks like they're focusing all on this brigade. I mean, I'd rather they were able to address this, but I don't, wood's in the way. They're not going to get that. Okay. So let's give McCulloch an advance order. Let's zoom in and see if we hear bugles here. I didn't hear any bugles there. Maybe I'm not doing that right. Maybe I've misunderstood bugles the whole time. Weisinger's getting a little toasty. He's lost 1,000 men. This cab isn't moving up very fast. Well, they're out of the woods. Maybe they'll move a little bit faster now. They are just about engagement range, though. I'm continuing to accrue victory points for objectives, which kind of confuses me because I thought I had objective points turned off. Continuous objective points, that is. That, you know, when I verified the files, that may have reset some of these options. Yeah, continuous VP from objectives are now turned on, where I had them turned off before. I think that happened when I verified the files. Oh, okay. I need to put a quick cut in for just a moment. Got to do something in the house with all the work that's going on. I will be back. Okay, we're back. Alright, so I'm not going to just let Weisinger sit here and take fire till he breaks. He's lost 1,000 men. I'm going to go ahead and pull him straight back. That's not what I meant, but I'm just going to go ahead and pull him back. He'll still be in cover in the woods, and we're going to let Cummings kind of start taking the brunt of the fire. You know, I don't think I'm doing that bugle stuff right. Okay, McCulloch engaged, delivering flanking fire, Merrill carbines. What was our 2,700, 1,500? Oh, wow. Boy, that cav did not like that. And that was just a couple volleys, too. So they were pretty close already, without showing the wavering. Nice job, McCulloch. In the nick of time. I'm still going to have Weisinger pull back. Let's go ahead and put... well, he'll be a little bit unsupported. Let's go ahead and put... McCulloch up on this rail line at least, get him some cover. We'll go ahead and have him charge up there just to get him onto the rail line quicker. Hopefully from there he'll be able to be just in range of these federal forces. He may not be. Yeah, he is. Just barely. Okay, let's go ahead and have I'm gonna have Walker's division kind of come across here, drive in this flank. It's not their full right flank, but it is the right flank of their advance. Let's pull that skirm in. Let's pull that skirm in. Yeah, let's pull that skirmisher in. Okay, so Fagan's brigade is currently sitting on medium range. Rather than change him to long, I'm just going to come up and make sure that he is in medium range, because when he delivers that volley, it will have more oomph than a long range shot will. That should be close enough. And I'm just going to have him... Well, that's going to shift him to short range, isn't it? Oh, well. First brigade is pulling back. Okay, McCulloch's guys are just taking fire at the moment. I'm just going to go ahead and lay him down. Go ahead and shift back. He went to long range of his own initiative. That's good. Let's advance Reigns up to here. Let's bring Posey up in support. You just go up to this fence. That's fine. I don't have any expectation that he will. I kind of hope Weisinger gets some fame from that. He deserves it. I'm tempted to push McCulloch forward against that artillery. I think I'm going to do that. And Cummings' guys are actually doing okay. Let's push them forward as well. Kind of protect the Cavs' flank. So this battle is going our way. But I think the AI did a creditable job here. You know, we came up, made contact, formed up successfully, and delivered a fairly decent attack on one of our flanks. And, you know, we had quite a firefight here, and Weisinger got beat up. Okay, that artillery is routed. Let's go up and route this let's fire on this artillery. And he may take flanking fire from over here. I don't know if that's a great idea. I'm going to do it anyway, though. Kind of one of my staple moves, right? Make a move. That's not a good idea. And then let it continue. I do that all the time. Let's keep pushing these other brigades forward. I think it's about time for McCulloch to mount back up. Bad. Stop. Like Vince is in his way. Let's go after that battery instead. I'm leaving them mounted. They get more XP for firing from horseback. Okay, let's just move them up this way. This infantry brigade is engaged with our advancing infantry. So I think McCulloch can come up and deliver some flanking fire. I guess that's the bugle call here, but all that does is just make them move faster. There we go. How do you like that, 1st Brigade? 4th Brigade. Okay, they're formally entering retreat phase now. They're at 21.3% casualties. 4,000. We've taken over 2,000 casualties, about 2 to 1 in our favor, but it's a heck of a lot more even now than some of the ratios we've seen in recent battles. Okay, so he's tired now. That means under fire he will lose morale more rapidly. Tired itself doesn't cause morale drop. It just makes them more vulnerable to the things that do cause morale drop. Let's move Stewart up. Rains up. Fourth Brigade is hanging on pretty good for morale, given all the fire that they're taking. They're taking 500 casualties, about 33% losses. He's starting to waver now. Okay. That's because he's picking up yet more fatigue in this creek terrain. Keep going, McCulloch. Almost got him. Almost. There he goes. Let's get Posey across the creek. Alright, Cav, now come over here. Slocum withdrawn. And let's get after this artillery over here. Yeah, he may take some canister in the face here. Hoping he breaks this artillery before he gets torn up too bad. Go ahead and charge them. Boom, okay. Let's just keep charging them until they wipe out. Just being gratuitous. I mean, they've already dropped their guns. It's not like we're capturing guns doing this. Okay, got those guys. Let's come over here and get these guys. Those guys and these guys. Yeah, this may wind up being a minor victory. Yeah, okay. All right, 4,800 to 2,400, right at 2 to 1. So as I said earlier, in our favor, but that's, you know, 2 to 1's a heck of a lot more even than what we've been seeing. I think we had the recent battle where it was 17 to 1. And clearly there was some buggy stuff going on in that. That wasn't all AI decision making. He was just getting bugged. You know, sitting in column while getting shot at. And, yeah, so, yeah, maybe the verifying files helped a little bit. Anyway, McClellan is thrown back from Cincinnati. Yeah, I can't think of anything I particularly want to look at in the, Yeah, I do. I want to see how McCulloch's Cav did. Hopefully I don't have to save and reload. Stewart's division, 660 casualties inflicted. Took total of 87 prisoners. Alright. And of course Patton Sr.'s division did the majority of casualties. That was Cummings and Weisiger over on the right. And of those two, yeah. So Weisinger, I think he lost about 1,000 men, but he inflicted 1,600 casualties. Good job to him. Good job to Cummings as well. Okay. Well, the Union had an overwhelming, not overwhelming, but a 2-to-1 troop advantage. However, never got his second corps up onto the field. The battle was over before the other force arrived, so that was about even. And as I said earlier, you know, I mean, in these games, no one's ever going to make the AI, you know, Napoleon Bonaparte. It's just not going to happen. But the AI, I think, acted reasonably there. Came up, formed up, made an attack on the flank. And it was slightly hairy there for a little while, at least for Patton's division. Yeah, I didn't see a fame message there for Weisinger. It's too bad. And I think that will do for this episode. If you like what we're doing with the channel, then leave a like, leave a comment, maybe even subscribe. But at any rate, thank you very much for watching. I really do appreciate it.